Hello and welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, I will be telling you about the copy and revaluation planning function. I will be showing you with a live example so that you can easily understand and you can apply on your system. So here in this planning sequence, I have added two planning functions. One is the copy and next one is the revaluation. First, let me tell you that what is copy and what is revaluation means. Copy is actually it copies the data from one target or one ADSO into the another ADSO. Suppose you want to move the data, move the 2016 data into 2017 with a new version. So that's what we can use the copy planning function. So this is one example that I was showing here. Similar to this, the revaluation meaning that you have a existing data. Suppose you have data for a amount, suppose 100, and you want to increase 20 times, or you want to increase the 20 percentage, so it will be like 110, 120, like that. So you want to increase by some factor, so that's what we use the revaluation. I'll be showing you everything. First, let me tell you that the background meaning that what we have created in order to make these planning functions. So we need a uh, aggregation level. So this aggregation level is created on a composite border, and my composite border is based on two ADSOs, one with the actual data and next one is the planned data. So I have two ADSOs in this composite border, and from there I have created the aggregation level. So based on my required characteristics, whatever you need, you can take it into the aggregation level. So aggregation level is the virtual layer. And now coming to the filter is actually selection. So based on what criteria you want to fetch and you want to save data into the ADSO, so based on the selection, you need to give it here. I will be explaining you about this selection later on. Next is the planning function. So here in this case, my both aggregation level is same, filters also same. The planning functions are different, copy, and this one is the planning. This one is the evaluation. If you go to the copy ones, so what I'm trying to copy, I'm copying three things. I'm copying the data to the info data into another info, and fiscal year I'm changing, and I'm changing person. So these three fields will be actually changed. And here in the selection, we have the details. Here in this case, you could give the info order. If you give, that is also okay, but if you don't give, that is also okay. The reason being, you have already placed into your filter with these providers. So from there, actually, it will understand, the planning function will understand it is going to save the data into this target. I'll be showing you with the execution now. So let me just execute the first one, the copy one. If I execute, you can see that two generated. So if I see this, so I have this my, as I said, I had two ADSOs, one is the actual and this one is the plan one. So in the actual one, we have the data 27,000, and this is also now fetched into, added into this target. So my version also changed from A to B, and fiscal year also changed from 16 to 17. So this selection, this 16 to 17 A to B, I have actually put it into my this planning function. You can see that I saw in the parameters, and my providers also changed here. So I will save this data here. You have a save button here, just save it. So now we will go to the target in order to see the data, because 20, I will just see the data in the active table. And here you can see this the record had been added. So with version B and fiscal year is 17. So this data has actually changed. If you go to the my actual data, so here if you look at the data for 1000, so here it is 27,000 and person is A and year is 2016. So this year and per with person, the same data is actually copied into another target. So that's what we use the copy function. Now what? Now we are going to the next one, the revaluation. As I said earlier, the revaluation actually revaluate your existing data, existing plan data into some factor. Let me just execute this. So here two records are changed, two records read. So the first one, here I have actually increased by 10%, and next one I have increased by 20%. So where this logic written is written in this planning function. If I double click on this, and you can see this company code I have taken, because I had two company codes, 1000 and 2000. For two different company codes I have different factors. So let me just see this. So if you click on this first one, company code 1000, so here I can see this, the factor is 10, and for the next one the factor is 20. So in this way you can actually save the whatever, based on your characteristics. So or based on your material or material group also, you can actually change the factors. So here I've applied based on the company code. So if I now save this data, you have a save button here, save planning buffer. So planning data is saved. I will now go back to this. I'll go back to my the plan. So you can see this. So now if we make a filter on 1000, you can see this is the 10%, as I said, was there. So the total is increased by 10%. Similar to this company code 2000, so it is 3240. This is a 20% increase. So it is a additive type, meaning that I have taken the ADSO type is different. If you take a direct update ADSO, then you're gonna see one line only with this value. But here I have taken the with type info cube type, so that's why we have these additive features here, that you can see what was previous and what was the next transaction, like this. So now we'll go back to the planning function again. So here the important part about this filtering. Look, if you go to this filter for the revaluation part and as well as for my copy part, both the part the same planning filter worked. So let me talk about this. The first one here we are working. This the revaluation function works on the plan data. So my plan ADSO exists on this target. So if you put this the other ADSO, this actual ADSO here, and you don't put this one, this target S20, then it will not work. You have to put the same selection what you want to actually plan ADSO. But the interesting part about the copy, why the same function actually copied here, we are actually copying from the other ADSO, the actual ADSO, but we are not putting the target here. The reason being, the copy planning function works in such a way that it takes the reference data from your system. And how it takes the reference data? Because in the planning function you have put something 2016 A kind of information. So based on this reference information, it actually checks the existing ADOSs and it can fetch the data. So that's why it's not important to put 2016 selection, or it's not important to put uh, version A also in the selection. If you could put it, that's no problem, but it's not required to put 2016 or A here or in the other radius. So that is about this tutorial. I hope you have understood it well and you could apply in your system. And please also write below what you know more about these planning functions and this other tutorials. Thank you for watching.